Hi everybody, it's Amy. These are instructions for the week of May 25th through the 29th for our Period 5 video. First of all, please make sure that you fill out the Microsoft Forms for the week. It's shorter this week. It should be a lot faster for you, and this is how I'm taking attendance. So please make sure you do that. Take care of that. I will drop these instructions here on the OneNote calendar. I've been putting them in the Google Drive, and then when they upload, I load them into the YouTube link. Okay. I also have a playlist that is ongoing. I think I'll just drop the playlist in here. That way it can just stay the same every week and you can find the video for the week. All right. So hopefully you can make the live team session. If we have one this week, I'm planning to have one. So make it if you can. And if you can't, well, you'll get the information here. I'll also record that session just in case I say information that you might need to know if you miss either the live session or any other tutorials. Okay, so here's the plan for this week. Please make sure you revise your final personal film project and make sure you're exporting it as an MP4. Some people are emailing me their projects. I can't take them in an email. You need to put them in the folder because it clogs up my email and then my email's getting full. So I'm not going to accept anything email. So you can send me links to things, but right here, this OneDrive folder is for your projects, and the personal film finals folder is here. Just copy and paste it or drag it in. Okay, that's how you turn in your work. If we were at school, we would be turning it into the Dropbox, but this is your Dropbox basically. It's a OneDrive folder. Everyone has access to it. You can see each other's work in there, but don't mess with other people's. I'm sure you won't. But by the end of the week, please turn in your exported MP4. Please complete your movie review by the end of the week. I looked earlier today and I saw one. Nice job. Lucas has his in there, which is great. So make sure you not only do your movie review, but you comment on 2 other people's movie reviews. You need to do that by the end of the week, okay? Then please review the final film project. I'm going to talk about that here in just a moment. But you need to make a plan for your project and you need to begin working on that project. Your final due date is the 12th. That's our last day of classes basically online. I think we have some other things going on that following week as big picture school, but I think the 12th is our last day of actual classes. It's a Friday, so if you turn it in earlier, that would be great. The earlier you turn it in, the more opportunity you'll have for feedback. I am catching up on all the grading. I'm sorry. I haven't been feeling that great the last few days, so I haven't had a chance to catch up on all the grading I was hoping to, but I will, don't worry. If you're behind on any of the projects, make sure you get your work done and turn it in. If you do all the projects and you do them at least a 1 or a 2, then you're going to pass the class. If you don't do the projects and there's zeros in the grade book, then I need to contact you and your family, and we need to make a plan for you to complete the work so you can get a passing score for the class, which would be great. Okay, so, and as usual, email me if you have questions or book a time with me with the link on the bottom. So for the rest of this video, I want to talk about the final film project. So I'm going to click that link and it takes me to the tab for final film project. There are 3 driving questions for this. How can we use video and audio to express life and ideas? How can we use video and audio to explore personal interests? And how can storytelling or point of view be enhanced with video and audio? So those are our driving questions. The overview of this whole project is really important. You need to read through all of this. I'm going to go ahead and read it to you, though, so you can listen. You're going to be creating a final project that shows evidence of your learning from the semester. And basically, it's for audio and video. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. The project options below has more ideas about what the projects can be. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Your project must show your video and or audio skills with Adobe products. We're using Adobe Premiere. Some of you are using Adobe Rush because you're using it on your phone and edit, that's fine. If you're using other Adobe products, that's fine. If you're using, well, I'll talk about the other projects or other editing software in a moment. You must use Adobe Premiere or Adobe Rush for your final editing, but you can use other programs to complement your work. And so, for example, if you use Adobe Photoshop or Illustrator to compile and edit images, that's fine. If you use Adobe After Effects for special effects, that's perfectly fine too. Or if you have Microsoft Photos and you make a video with that, that's okay because you can export that as an MP4. You can even make a video in PowerPoint and export it as an MP4 and then bring it into Premiere. But your final project will be edited in Premiere or Rush, and you're going to be turning in your MP4, and I'm going to have you drop your Premiere file in the folder. That's one of the last things you'll do. I just want to look to see how everything's going and make sure you understand Premiere, because that's what this class is really about. You'll have lots of choices for the content, style, and product for your final product or your final project. Examples and directions are within the tab over here on the right. Let me just, I'm going to move that over. Also, just noticing that I need to move this in a little bit so we can see everything. There we go. Okay, so right here under the Final Film Project tab, there's a bunch of pages here. There's two turn-in pages, and then there's project resources. So these project resources here are examples and directions for a variety of different kinds of projects you can choose from, okay? And that's basically what this is, number 6. These are just here to support you through whatever project you decide to do. Final date's June 12th. I need them by then so I can do grades and post your passing scores, okay? So number 8. The length and duration of your film or audio. So the project should be more than 30 seconds long, basically. If you do something that's 30 seconds long, it better be fantastic, okay? It better have lots of editing, transitions, a really good point, a good storyline, whatever it is. If it's 30 seconds, it better be good. But it needs to fit the selected purpose of your project that you choose. For example, a 12-minute commercial is too long, okay? You don't have 12-minute commercials unless it's in the Super Bowl, but that's not what we're doing. A 2-minute documentary is too short. A 2-minute podcast is not in-depth enough, and a 10-minute short film is probably about right. Usually short films, 8 to 10 minutes, a little bit longer, that's fine. It can be 30 minutes, but that's a long film for this project. I would hesitate to tell you to do something that long. I would prefer something shorter. A 7-minute PSA is probably too long. So you've got to decide, like, how long should a PSA be? You need to research these things. You need to go and take a look at the examples that I've given you, and you can see, oh, okay, 45-second PSA or a 1-minute PSA, public service announcement. That gets someone's attention. That's about right. So you need to choose the length of film or audio that works well for your project, okay? You're going to choose whatever method and style best suits your project. You can combine methods. You can include all or some of the following. And these are actually, this is the list from the personal film project, I do believe. You can film your own video. You can use photos. You can do narration over images. You can use moving images, still images. You can use stock footage. You can add voiceover, add sound effects, music, stop motion, time lapse, a movie trailer, or combination of anything. And there's lots of examples I'm going to talk about in just a minute. So however you want to combine things together is up to you. It is your project. You are showing your learning through video and or audio, okay? It doesn't have to have both. Keep that in mind. It can be all audio. It could be a podcast. It could be a podcast with images that you put up. It could be all music with images that you film. It's really up to you. I want you to show your best work. Okay, so here are some project options that you could choose from. A commercial, a short film. Oh, and by the way, right next to each one of these, if there's something in blue, that takes you to one of the resources here. So just know that the link is taking you to that, or it's taking to my YouTube channel, or another link. So let's see, short film, a stop motion. I have some middle school stop motions and they're on a playlist here. So you could take a look at some of these. They're actually pretty cute. I'm sure if you're going to do one, it'll be more high school level rather than the middle school level, but you could look at those and see if that's something that you might want to do. A time-lapse film, and I'm going to come back to this in a second because if you choose to do a time-lapse, I have files and instructions for you to follow if you choose to. I'll come back and look at that. Public service announcement. We have some PSA examples. You can do a documentary, a podcast. I have a lot of podcast resources. StoryCorps, This American Life. The New York Times actually has a competition going on. I think it may have already happened. And then I have an Audacity, how to use Audacity YouTube playlist. If you decide you want to use Audacity for your project, this playlist, let's take a look at this. This one goes to, this is on our channel. I think this is on my professional channel, but there are 4 videos here that are really good that take you through Audacity. So if you decide you want to do Audacity and you just want to use that, you don't have to pull it into Premiere if you don't want to, but you can pull it into Premiere and add some images and then export it as an MP4. I highly recommend doing that. You can put yourself in there, a picture, or whatever you want to do. Let's go back to the list here. So that was podcast, interview, newscast, sportscast. If you find some, by the way, it needs to be copyright free. Okay, you can't use somebody else's images or music or film that is copywritten. So that's really important, especially with sportscast thing. If you wanted to use some stock footage from ESPN or something like that, it needs to be Creative Commons. So make sure that's really important, as well as everything else. Newscast, you can make your own newscast, and you can have like a little thing that comes up that says, live, and you can have like a little box. And if you need help with how to do 2 images at the same time, I can help you with that. I actually recorded instructions on how to play 2 things at the same time. That's how you would do a newscast. It's in the, where is that? Premiere Tutorials. I will have to find that. Let's see. I'll find that and I'll put the link in there. I think it might be at the bottom here. Move myself here so I can find it. I'll find that and I'll let you know where that's at. But anyway, next one, movie trailer, personal narrative, animated short. That means you're going to be animating. That takes a lot of time. If you have those skills and you know you can do it, go ahead. But if you don't and you only have this certain amount of time to do this, I would be aware of that. An art film. An art film is kind of a combination of images, moving images, still images. It can be acted out. It can be a play. It can be something that is more thought-provoking than just watching like a motion picture. Music video, instructional film, sometimes we call that a how-to video. Musical work, if you want to make your own music and record something and put that all together, and that is your audio, and maybe you have some images that go with it, if you wanted to do that, or you wanted to make your musical work into like a podcast, or just you playing the music and introducing it, maybe like a DJ or something, it's up to you. Spoken poetry with or without music and or sound effects, an original video and or audio project, or an installation artwork that includes video and or audio. So that's a long, long list. I do want to go back and talk about the time-lapse film. If you choose to do the time-lapse photography and project, it's photography and time-lapse project. This is its own project, and we were going to do this separately, but because of the virus stuff going on, we never got to it. But I was working with a person who is a friend of my husband's, and he is a photographer, and he has a bunch of images that are free and able for us to use. So basically the project overview is here. Here are the driving questions. But if you're interested in doing the time lapse, here's what you need to do. You need to watch this video. This video is showing you how to create mood and passing time in film angles. So this is a good intro to this type of project. Then you can go and read this link. And it is how to do time-lapse photography. Then you can see the example that Elia has on his website. And on his blog, you can read through his How I Did It blog. It's how I did a time-lapse with his examples. And they're images from Mount Everest from last year, I think. Anyway, you can use any of his images, or you can create your own images. You can set your camera up and you can take pictures of the night sky, or you can take pictures of like flowers blooming all day long. You could set a plant in front of you, and you could take a picture of the plant every, 20 minutes if you want to. And then I'll show a time lapse of the plant moving throughout the day, whatever you want to do. Or maybe you have a pet and you want to watch the pet move. I don't know what you want to do. That's more of a stop motion than anything. Anyway, so after you do that, just follow the instructions. You have to download the media to your laptop. I have created a OneDrive folder, and this took me hours to do. There's the Lhotse Moonrise and then the Everest Base Camp. These are huge files, but I made them smaller for you. So what you'd have to do is you'd have to download the whole file, and you can do that because it's on a OneDrive folder. Let's go back to that folder again. So you'd download either this folder or this folder, and you'd put all these images into Premiere, and then you'd change the speed and duration. You got to make sure you get them in the right order, and that's the trick. Okay, so you have to follow his directions. You can ask me, I can help you too. That's right. Number 8, make sure your media is in the correct order. And import the media into Premiere, and then use speed and duration to slow down or speed up your media. You'll probably want to speed them up, because if you put them in there as is, they're going to be really slow. So basically you right click the timeline, which is right here, and then you choose the speed and duration. And then there's a little like hand that pops up with like a little arrow right here on duration. You'll drag that down to the left to make them go faster. Please make sure that you click, and I don't know if I put this. Oh, yes, I did. Scroll over the duration blue text to change the speed, and click the ripple edit shifting trailing clips, because if you don't, then you're going to have spaces in between 450 pictures, and it's going to be a pain. So make sure you do that. Then click OK, and your video will shorten or lengthen. It's actually quite simple. And then save your work every time. Control-Z to undo if you make a mistake. Make sure that you credit Elia with his work. They are his photographs. They are his videos. So you have to say photographs by or video by. I think they're all photographs, actually. And his name's on the website, so make sure you do that. I don't think they're copywritten, but he has given permission to use these pictures. And then add music and make sure you credit your music. And then, well, let's make sure this link works. This is, yep, there it is. That's where you turn in your final project. So that's if you want to do the photography and time-lapse project. That is one of the choices in the project options. If you have an idea and it's not on the list here, basically it will probably fit under an original video and or audio project. Okay, so do what you like, do what you want, but if it's copied, I will not accept it. So it has to be something that is original and your own, or you're using other people's and giving them Creative Commons images. I'm giving them credit. So basically here, now that we've gone over the overview, here are the directions. So first you need to do a little bit of research, and the research I have provided for you, most of it. You need to watch these required videos and links. The first one is a 6-minute video about interactive sound art. It's so cool. And it is one of the options. If you wanted to create something that has sound and you want to make a video about it, you totally can. It's something that we do in art and design class. Usually when we run art and design class, we do installation art, and sound is part of that. Then the next one is, please watch this video about how families use stories to stay in touch. It's a Google experiment, and you might recognize it. Then the next one is these are really short. These are like a minute long. This one is instructional video by Google. It's not saying, here's how you do this. It shows you how to use one of their technologies in a very, very interesting manner, and they've done it with audio and video. And then visit these links here, student video examples and PSA examples. In the past, when we did these projects, we always did them PBL. They were all projects-based. They were all in groups. We researched all kinds of things, and students have some great examples. So please look here, because there are films within here. And Ballard High School has probably one of the best film programs in the state of Washington. You can go to their Vimeo site and you can watch their films. They're really fantastic. Every year they win like student Emmy awards and all kinds of things. They also have really expensive equipment that we don't have. So there you go. Anyway, they have wonderful things, and you'll get some really good inspiration from the things that they do. Okay. So after you've watched that part, this is the research. It'll take you like max 10 minutes to take a look at most of these, maybe 15. Then you're going to plan and organize your video, okay? So I'm grading the planning. Visit this page to see how you will turn in your planning. And I need to push this out to your OneNote. I don't know if I've done that yet, but I will. So here are the directions. Please read them. Please don't email me your work. You have to put it in here. There's a make your own storyboard. There's a storyboard template. There's another link to storyboards here. And don't forget, you need to do this resources chart. This is where you're going to hold all your work. Okay, this is just you holding it so that way you can cite your sources. So after you do this, brainstorm some ideas. What are you going to make? If you want to work in a group, you can. If you want to do this as a group of people, you may do that as long as everybody's involved and everybody's going to buy into what you're going to do and everybody has a part. You can work together or you can do this on your own. Please storyboard and script your project and decide the best method of delivery. Is it going to be a video? Is it going to be audio? Is it going to be both? Is it going to be an art project that you're adding video or audio to? Now that's a little different level. And some of you are there, some of you are not. So if you want to do that, I'm okay with that too. Collect your media, either film, record your projects, locate documents, collect your images, create animations, media, print, whatever you need. And then make sure that you do this resource chart. That's important. And then organize and compile your media in a folder on your computer. So that's your planning. You don't have to show me your folder. You just have to show me this digital resource chart. Okay, and that's in your OneNote. That'll get pushed out to you and I'll be able to see that. Okay, then the next part is editing. So let's visit this page to find out how you're going to be graded on editing. Basically, there's directions for your final cut right here. And then you'll make an artist statement. The rubrics are down below. I'm basically grading the technical aspects of your editing, and then I'm grading your artist statement, how you're responding and reflecting about your work. It's very straightforward. It's basically standard 3, which is editing. That's what we're using. So, and then standard 6, which is showing meaning in your work, and standard 9 is reflecting. So basically three standards that we're looking at for this. It's pretty straightforward. Here's your turn-in folder. And if you're not sure about how to write an artist statement, you can click on that link. Make sure that you, once again, export your video as an MP4. And if you need help with that, you can look in the Premiere tutorials. It is right here, how to export, okay? Premiere tutorials are right at the top. Okay, let's go back to the Final Film Project main page here. For the editing here, these are just basic directions, what to do next. And I put some specific things in here for you because I think it's important that you remember that you need a title and credits and any additional text. If you're doing a documentary, you're going to need to have like text at the bottom to say like the person's name or a location where you're filming or important information. Add music and sound effects, whatever you need. Please make sure you put some good transitions in there. Don't make them cheesy. If you've got blocks of things going all over the place, that's too much. Just make it simple. You can do audio transitions where it fades in and out. If you need help adjusting your audio, please contact me. Look in the Premiere tutorials. I have some very specific tutorials on adjusting audio, but if you need help, let me know. Filters and effects. Okay, so this is something we haven't really talked about right now in this semester because we haven't gotten to that because of this virus thing. But don't worry about that. If you don't have filters and effects, I'm not grading that. That's just an extra thing if you want to make your project pop a little bit more. Sometimes when I do like a personal project, I'll put a filter over like an interview to soften it. Those are found in the effects menu in Premiere. If you need help with that, please look at the tutorials and then contact me. I can definitely help you with that. You can also edit your audio if you have like weird noises going on, or if it sounds funny, or you want to echo, you can do all kinds of audio effects in Premiere. Play around with it because basically it's trial and error, to tell you the truth, until you get it just right. Then when you're all done, make sure you export a rough cut and show it to somebody, a friend, a family member, someone in the class. Just say, hey, can you look at this? You can even put it in the OneDrive folder and you can say, hey, can you look at this video and tell me what you think? Get some feedback from someone. If you are doing, you could do this project I don't think there's any seniors in our class, but if you're doing your Freedom Project, and you want to do this project as part of your Freedom Project, you totally can. So get some feedback from your advisor, your teacher, okay? Then when you're done, do all your revisions, export it as an MP4 and turn it into the final folder, okay? So basically, this is the turning page for planning. This is the turn-in page for your final, but the turn-in is really in this folder. That's what you're doing, but make sure you grade yourself. Here are all the resources. Make your own storyboard template, how to write an artist statement, time-lapse, photography, student video examples, PSA examples, and podcast resources. That was a lot that I just went through. So I summarized it right here on the OneNote calendar. So think about what you want to do. Come up with something simple that you can make for this project. It's your last project. Do something exciting and do something meaningful. Okay? So if you have questions, let me know, and I shall see you very soon.